Hey guys, it is Carl Brown from GuitarLessons365.com. Today we're going to do Hero of the Day by Metallica. So this one is tuned down a half step. So if you don't know what that is, it's every string on a guitar tuned down a half step. Hopefully you do if you're playing Metallica songs. But anyway, those notes will be in the description of this video if you need them. So let's start here. I'm going to take you through all the parts of the song as they happen, and then we're going to take a look at the solos as well. So let's start here with this opening riff that I just played. Now the way they end this riff each time is a little bit different, so I'll just kind of give you a good overall way of doing it. So we're going to start here with the open A string into the second fret on the D and the G. So just pick across those. Stop there on the G. Now the only thing that's changing here is the note on the A string. The next we're going to bar across so we can play the second fret on the A string along still with the second fret on the D and the G. So same picking pattern. And then up to the fourth fret on the A. Same picking pattern. And then the fifth fret on the A. So like this. So we're going to make it here to this E major chord up here, which is the 7th fret of the A string, the 6th fret of the D, and 4th fret of the G. And you just kind of pick, what they do is they kind of, the first time through it, they can just kind of pick the 5th, then the 4th, then the 5th. And then they just usually pick across from the G down to the D and the A. Repeat that a few times, a couple times. And when they get this top note, then they gotta go back and grab this. I think I might have forgot that beginning. This intro, the actual first 3 notes of the song, which is 2 on the low E, open A, then down to 2. Then you go into the riff. So at the beginning of the song, you hear those notes. Sorry, I skipped that initially. And then you're into the riff. Then you gotta jump back and time it so you come right back in on those 3 notes. And then what they do is kind of hammer. They play the 7th fret still on the A string, but they're going to hammer 4 to 6 on the D. And then pick the A string again. You just kind of do that a little bit. And there is a fill here that you'll see the second time. I'm not going to look at all these fills because they play it, slightly differently, but this first one is picking the 4th fret on the G string and then do a quick little hammer pull between 6 and 4. Back over to the 6th fret on the D string and a hammer 7. So coming out of this. But for the most part, when you're doing up here, you're going to want to do those 3 notes, then start over. And do the, usually they're doing a hammer on there, meaning that hammer on, 4 to 6. So this is the verse. Then really what you could consider the chorus is pretty much the same. Oh, by the way, there is a little acoustic layer that you'll hear in the recording. I'm not going to really take a look at all the little guitar layers because a lot of them don't really affect the song too much. But right there, that one sounds kind of cool, and it's just a. So it's just open A to the second fret on the G, and then to the fourth fret on the G, 6, 7, and then the same. Or you can just do it kind of like they do live, which they both kind of play this part. All right, now let's get to the next section, which is pretty much the same riff, just with distortion. So it starts with that same 3 notes, same ascending riff. And when you get here to the E chord, so we had this hammer 4 to 6, hit it again, and then do the hammer 4 to 6 again. Now, after you play that twice, James Hetfield continues to play that just like that, but Kirk Hammett's part after that looks like this. 6th rhythm in the beginning. All right, so the same riff, except instead of going to here, it's just hammers, it slides an octave, starting the 5th fret octave off the A string. So 5th fret on the A, 7th fret on the G string. It's a D note. So we have, so you slide up to 7th, and then do the octave from 9, slide to 11, and then up to 12. All right, now we get back to the same kind of quieter verse. But at the 1 minute and 32-second mark, we have a little solo by Kirk, a little fill. Sounds like this. And then it leads into the distorted. All right, so what's going on there? We had this. So that's going to be 10, 12, 10 on the B string, down to 9, 10, 9. And then it's a lot of delay on this, so it goes 9 on the G to 9 back on the B, and back to 9 on the G. So he sustains that a little bit, and then he comes in with this shorter one, which is just 10, 12, 10, 9, back to the 10, and let that ring. And then once again, we have the chorus come in. Kind of happens the same way there. And at the 2 minute and 15-second mark, we really kind of ramp it up a little bit, the aggressiveness. And we have this. All right, so that is actually, those hits are happening on an upbeat. So sometimes you'll see James Hetfield actually play with the upstroke. Or sometimes you'll see it just with downstrokes. Whatever way you feel comfortable, it doesn't matter. So he does it both ways. So anyway, we lead into that like this. what's going on is you're going to be placing your pinky there at the 4th fret there on the A, and then we're basically building up to this F sharp power chord, but we're going to first do the open E with that 4th fret there on the A. It's really heavily palm muted. Then 2 up to 3. And then resolve it back down to the full power chord there at the 2nd fret of the low E string. And then we do that same lick again twice. It's just down, up, down. And then one more time, down, up, down, and then back. So it's actually a pretty fun riff to play. It's pretty easy, but it's pretty fun. All right, so now he goes back to doing the coming out of that, and we have a Kirk Hammett solo at the 2-minute and 39-second mark, and it sounds like this. Back to that big riff. All right, so that is just based around here. What do you want to? It's the 11th fret on the G string to the 9th fret on the G. So you're gonna first pick the 11th fret twice, down to 9 once, and then play 11, 9 once each, then 11 once, and 9 twice. So it's like 2 on the 11, 1 on the 9, then 1 each, and then reverse the first way you played it, 1 on the 11, 2 on the 9. Or you can just kind of feel the melody, and it'd probably be easier to play. Then you go over to the 10th fret there on the B, and then you go back to the 11, kind of starting everything over. But you have to start it with 3 hits there, because you're kind of coming out of it. So like this. And then when you get back to that 10th fret again, go up to the 15, then 14 on the B, and then you play a double stop here between the 12th fret on the B and the high E. So like this. So you hit each one of those notes a few times, letting them ring. Then start the same thing over again. And of course, the second time here on the B string there, the 10th fret, you're going to start up a new melody. This time going up to 17, 15, 17, 19, 21, and then you're going to go into an octave here. Now this right here is at the 19th fret of the D, and the 22nd fret there on the B string. So it's an A octave. And kind of he just keeps strumming that. The vocals come back in there. Then he just takes it down. I'm going to say what string fret this first finger's at. So from 19, 18, 16, 14. So it's just keep holding that octave. Now you just hold it there at the 14th fret, just keep playing, strum across it, and then keep taking it down, keeping the octave to 12, 11, and 9. All right, then it goes back to that same big riff that we did before. Now, as we're playing that, then we get to these, where are we at? 3 minutes and 37 seconds. We start this a little arpeggio figure. All right, and then we're gonna be doing that same rhythm, but we're gonna be changing the chords around a little bit. All right, so let me play the arpeggio version of it first. So it kind of continues that. So it's my favorite part of the song here. So we're going to start here with this F-sharp power chord. Now this time across 3 strings. So we have the 2nd fret on the low E, 4th fret on the A and the D. And he's going to pick across that. So 6, 5, 4, 5. Do that a couple times. Now basically what you're going to do is keeping these 2 notes, but you're going to be changing the bass the bass note under it. So we're just going to be doing 2nd fret, and then you're going to move the bass note up to the 4th fret. So you're just going to play all 3 notes with 1 finger. Then the bass note moves to the 5th fret on the low E, and then the 7th fret of the low E. Play this. All right, now the second time through, we have this, starting with the same chord. Now this time, we're going to go up to the 4th fret again on the low E, but this time we're going to change the notes on the D and the A and the D string to the 2nd fret on the A and the D. Same picking pattern, then to the 5th fret there on the low E. And then we're going to go to a B power chord off the 5th string. So we're going to pick across those 3 strings, the 3 through the G string through the A string. All right, so all together. All right, now underneath that, we actually have some chords. I'll move it around a little bit more at the end there. But we're going to take that same rhythm that we were doing with the big riff and just play it with those same chords we were just playing. You can see at the very end, I did the 3rd fret power chord to start it back over. Kind of did that to end it. And then you'll hear at the end of the song, it was just, so coming off that B, it said 3-2 power chord, and then hold, and that last one. All right, so it's a great ending. It's really cool. So that arpeggio riff continues over. Basically, you do the same heavy feel riff that with those chords that you're also arpeggiating on top of it to bring out those notes a little bit more. So it's a really cool part if you have 2 guitarists that can do it together. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. It's a really cool song. I'll see you again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.